Welcome, everybody. Today is GGR. Today with me, I have my new co-host, Roger. Say what's up, man.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And as always, on these Sundays that we get to enjoy his presence is the main man, the Z superstar, the Z star over there, the Z movie star,
Z grade celebrity.
Vance. There you go, the Z grade celebrity. Remember?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
So tonight we're taking it back. We're taking it back. We're going old school. We're going retro games. We're going back to the NES. We're going back to the Super Nintendo. We're going back to all the good old favorites games of those eras. And Vance, what's your thoughts, man?
Well, all I gotta say is, if anybody else has not played this game right here, you guys, you have missed out on a childhood that, Super Mario Brothers 3, best game ever. What do you gotta say?
Now,
What do you gotta say?
all right.
You know
That's not technically fair. That's not technically fair to a lot of kids.
Mario Brothers that came with when you got the original Nintendo set that came with it. It was that dual thing that had Mario and Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. But Mario 3
Well,
was...
I mean, you like Mario 3. You know what my game of choice was?
What's that?
My game of choice was Mario All-Stars.
Yeah.
Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, and they had one for the NES originally, but the one for the Super Nintendo, that was my go-to game of choice for Mario anyway.
Yeah.
You had three different Marios on that game. You had Mario 1, you had Mario 2, you had Mario 3, but All-Stars right there had everything that you needed. That was the perfect game to play.
Well, yeah, you could go through the whole thing, and you could scroll over and pick each game. You didn't have to load each slot. And the thing about All Stars, which was good, was it had a save feature. You put in the old, you didn't have that. So you sit there, and for me, like, I would leave my game in there, and my Nintendo would like overheat because I would leave it on for like days at a time because I would like, no, Mom, I have like 4 Power Wings. You can't take that away from me.
You're
vacuum and unplug my Nintendo, and
how about Legend of Zelda? The original save. That blew my mind when that came out. I was like, I can save my game. Yeah.
This one here?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, that one. No.
That one right there.
I bought this game, and when I got it and I saw a gold cartridge, I was like, what? It's gold? Am I rich? What is this? It's gold?
Hey, win the Willy Wonka ticket?
Yes, you can't do that.
Exactly.
Like, I have to lie. What is this? Yes, I was like, invested. Like, video games were my life as a kid. Like, it was just, I had no friends. All I had was Mario and Link. And then those crappy cartoons that came out on Saturday morning.
Oh, jeez.
I love my Saturday morning cartoons. We delved into the Saturday morning cartoons already. But you know what I really, really did not like about Super Mario Brothers, the original one, when you couldn't save, is when you got past the level that you haven't beat for days, and you leave your system on for like 3 seconds, and somebody just comes over and just taps the button, and it's all gone. It's all gone. Everything is gone. I'm like, I worked so hard for this, and you just deleted it.
Well,
I'm talking like family reunions got cut out of my life because of that.
Did you ever have?
Let me play the game. No.
Did you ever have the problem? My Nintendo was kind of crappy. Did you ever have the problem where you're playing the game, and after like maybe an hour or two or whatever, it would just like blink on and off and like reset itself and just like blink?
Yeah.
And, like, usually it would happen like after you beat like a hard level, and you're like, all right, this is great. And then you're like, okay, I've got to save it somehow. And before you can save it, then it like blinks, and you're like, your neck veins tense up and the end of your forehead.
All of this is like it's like anticipation of my system is about to cut. No. So many times. So many times.
Oh, how about original Nintendo original cheat code, man?
Up, down, down, left, right, BA select, start.
Exactly. Right. Off Contra. The only way I ever beat that damn game, or darn game, sorry. Only way.
I mean, that was the original cheat code. That was the cheat code that started many other cheat codes. I believe it's Contra, because cheat codes after Contra were so complicated and so mundane that it was like no point even doing it.
Yeah.
Like the Super Mario cheat code for Super Mario World. It was like down B B A Y B B A Y. It's like can't stop. And there's more. There's more after that. There's more after that. You have to hit select and start. You have to hit select and start at the same time.
I'm glad somebody's life is not dependent on me entering in this cheat code.
Hold on. Wait. There's a cheat code for Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
we just told Vance that Santa Claus is not real. Like, he's just now processing it.
Lady, I'm making an early night tonight. I'm gonna get off the podcast and go play Mario.
All right. I mean,
by the time you're done entering the code, you'll have to come back on again. But, yeah.
That cheat code is for like 3 ups though.
Oh,
that's all it is. It's like for 3 extra lives. There's an infinity one. There's an infinity life one. There's an infinity life cheat code, and that was the size of my entire notebook. If I open up my notebook, not this one, not this notebook, but so I was to open up this notebook, it'd be from this page to this page. That's how long it was for Infinity Life on Mario.
See, the only like I would scroll through whenever we would go to the bookstore, because again, when I was growing up, we went from California and we moved to my grandma's ranch, so I didn't have much of a life, growing up on ranch. And so every time I would go to my other grandparents' house, they had a Nintendo, and so I would go over there and we would go to the mall and I would hit the bookstores because they had Nintendo Power and they would have these Nintendo books, and I would scroll through and I would try to read all the cheat codes I could, and I would I would carve into my arm, the cheat codes and whatnot. And I saw, like, everyone would always talk about on the first level, the turtle shell that you jump on, and you keep jumping, trying to get the extra lives. Dude, I tried that so many times, and every time I would always hit the turtle shell, and it would always kill me. Like, I never got that. Even now, like 25 years later, I'm trying to hit that turtle shell, trying to get those lives. I've beaten the game a million times, but that one thing has avoided me. I don't even care about it, but I'm like, that damn turtle.
How about those games from the original Nintendo that you still want to stab yourself in the eye? They're so difficult, like Ghosts and Goblins, or it was one of the Castlevanias too. They had some bizarre puzzle you had to solve.
I
didn't tell you about.
I was definitely on Castlevania.
Simon's Quest.
Simon's Quest. That was it.
They have some weird stuff in like. If you don't look at the cheat book, you don't know how to beat some of that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're not going to clear that. At all. You would not clear it.
No. It's a fun game, but you're supposed to go over to the wall, bend down while holding the rib eye, while throwing the stake in, while chanting this and patting your head with, what? Who does that? Who would
there's nothing in the game to tell you to do that. Nothing.
Nothing.
If you've ever played Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, the people in the
God.
That game, I played that game for almost a year straight, and I beat it. But those townspeople are so misleading. They don't give you hints on nothing. And I'm sitting there.
They were clueless. They were so very clueless about what was going on. It's like you go up there, you talk to them, and there was like, question mark, question mark, question mark. Go do this. Wait, huh? Wait, hold up. How do I do this? How do I even start this off?
The only guy that was like any type of accurate was the guy that said, "I am error," and I'm like,
yes, you
are. Like that was the only guy that was helpful because I'm like, you are telling me loads about this game that, shoot. And you know what's so damning about the thing is those games were like $39.99. I think Mario
Yep.
Kart was like $49.99. Now keep in mind, minimum wage was like $3.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why growing up, I think I only ever owned a handful of cartridges ever.
Hold on, I'm about to go see how many cartridges I have. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I think we only actually owned Zelda, I think a Metal Gear, and maybe a couple other ones. We used to remember you could rent games, go like the video store when there were still video stores.
That was a cheap way to. I mean, that was the only way to. I mean, you would go to Blockbuster or cheap mom and pop's video game place to rent them. I mean, that was the way to do it because otherwise you'd be paying $50. And you know what's so terrible about it is you would go to you would spend so much money on a game. The best way to do it would be to rent the games because a lot of those games were pretty junk. Have you ever played this game?
Well, hold up. What's up? What's it? No, I've heard of it though.
Oh my goodness, dude! Go watch a YouTube video on it.
Is that the one where you're like flying through random circles and things? And
no, that's for the N64. Now that's probably the most frustrating game of all time. But this game is the most useless game of all time because you're walking through, in cheap, fashion, and when you jump, you're like going across the screen, and then you jump, you're like, ooh. And like, first off, you're Clark Kent, and why would you jump that high anyway? And you're like, it is such a mind-numbing game. You don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, and people are talking to you like you're, oh shoot, Travis has a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Yes, I do. And this thing still works. I'm very happy about this. This thing still works. I have the cords and everything, but they're plugged into the TV. But this still works.
How many cartridges you got, bro?
Works. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7, huh?
7 cartridges. Guess what games I have on these cartridges, though?
What's that?
Super Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Super Empire Strikes Back.
Super Empire Strikes Back. Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh.
The Lion King. Mario's earlier years with Fun with Letters.
Oh my God.
My daughter loves that game.
Do you still play that one, Travis?
Yes, my daughter loves this game. This is great. This is great family time right here. I'm just letting you know, this is perfect. I love the fact that this still works. You gotta do this a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's repair. That's how you fix stuff.
Like I said, All Stars. All Stars just sitting right here.
Yeah.
All Stars, right there.
Yeah.
And then I have Clay Fighter from Blockbuster. That doesn't,
Blockbuster
it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
When Blockbuster was still a thing. And the Power Rangers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But those are the 7 that I have that are out.
All right, hold up, real quick. $39. So let's say the original Legend of Zelda, which came out in '86. All right, was $39.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in today's money, that is $83.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
You got to think those games cost almost $100 a pop.
It's like price inflation. I'm glad everything still works. That's the only thing I'm glad about. It's like most people can't say that.
Just think about it. Tonight. Do me a favor, Travis. Have you played this game before?
Yes.
Just think, if you paid that much money, like the Legend of Zelda type money, $83 a pop for this, how ticked off would you be?
I'd be royally ticked off. Are you kidding me? I'd be sitting up here like cursing all types of obscenities. There will be all types of like things flung because one, that's Superman. That's Superman. We're not even talking about like Zelda. And there was a platinum. I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a platinum edition of Zelda. It was a silver cartridge. It wasn't gold. It was a silver cartridge, and some guy found it at a local hobby store up in New York City. And the guy up in New York City, he knew what it was, and the guy was like, "Well, I want to sell this." And he looked at it, he was like, "Does this still work?" This is the key thing. Does this still work? So he took out an old NES, dusted it off, put it in, it loaded up, everything worked. That game was that platinum edition of Zelda because it's a limited edition. I don't think like 50 of them got released, but that was worth $1,000.
Wow.
You know what? I would totally not sell that though. I'd play that and let everybody on the planet know that I had one of the platinum editions. Like to me, that'd be worth more than the money.
I was like, how do you?
For me, it'd be bragging rights. I would be taking selfies with that everywhere I go, and just guarding that like a bragging rights.
Bragging rights for life. Bragging rights for life.
Have some big swole guy follow you with like one of those aluminum briefcases chained to his wrist.
It's just hanging there. It's just hanging in there.
Just sitting in there.
This is security. This is security right here.
He's walking around. He's all strapped up.
He's got the James Bond. He's got the James Bond gold gun sitting in his wallet, like sitting in his pocket.
Oh my God, the James Bond Goldeneye 007.
I got that too.
007.
No, that was for the Nintendo 64.
N64, yeah.
I got to say the first time you saw a like multiplayer shooter, with Call of Duty.
That was the first.
Yeah.
No, that was the first one. GoldenEye was the first one because you got to have 4 controllers. Your friends got to come over, and you basically lost friends because you had dual-wielding gold guns. You lost friends a lot in 007.
Yeah.
The N64 was
man, I'm not playing with you anymore, man.
The N64 was
going home.
So, I mean, it was
a great system.
You had, because I know for me, at the time I managed Dairy Queen, and my cooks, they would come over on the weekends. We'd usually order pizza, and we had WrestleMania 2000, and then WWF No Mercy when that came out. I went out and bought both games, but we would create our own wrestlers on the game, and then we would make our own titles. We would have our own matches and our own pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
Like every weekend, we would come over and we would have our own matches, and we would have like in-ring run-ins and tag matches and whatnot, and it was really kind of fun just to hook all 4 controllers up and then fight each other and stuff, and that was just a really cool system.
Yeah, because you could hook 4 controllers to it. Yeah, before that it was always 2.
Yeah, or you would have the extension where you could plug that in. But the problem with that was not all the games were compatible with that. With the N64, you could just plug right on in, you'd be good to go. And so, I really enjoyed the N64. I got a lot of use out of that. I mean, I still have it to this day, and I still got all those created wrestlers.
Oh man, I don't have. I think maybe in my parents' basement. I think I only ever owned before PlayStation, because I was out of the house and married and all that stuff by the time that point. But when growing up, we only ever had the original Nintendo. I mean, I had friends of mine who had, I guess their parents had more than we did, and they had like Sega, because I remember when I first saw Sega Genesis and all that. Remember was it the Saturn? The Sega Saturn?
Sega Saturn, yeah.
The Sega Saturn.
Wasn't that where, oh shoot.
Sega Saturn, they had Sega CD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's when Sega dabbled in making a disc format
and that was
system.
Isn't this Soul Blade? Didn't that first show up in or Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur first show up in? I think that's where it first showed up, though, wasn't it? In Sega.
I think so.
I don't know about that. I think that was the first PS1. Soul Calibur showed up in the first PS1 because what was that other fighting game that had Virtual Fighter? Yeah, Virtual Fighter had a long running relationship with Sony with 1, 2, and 3 that came out, and then when they got into this other. When Xbox came out and Dreamcast came out, that was kind of like, where's all the other money's gonna go to?
Yeah, well, pretty
But
much
Dreamcast
now.
was ahead of its time. Dreamcast was a system ahead of its time.
Dreamcast was pretty cool. It had a lot of good stuff. It just I think it's like it was the Betamax though. It's like there's only one, 4 systems enter, only one shall leave.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was too. That's exactly what it was. But I remember because I still have my Dreamcast. I can't find it. It's somewhere in my house. It's like a mystery system because I know I still have it. Because I found Power Stone, Power Stone 2, Sonic, and I found Crazy Taxi. Those are my lineup of games for that.
Crazy Taxi. Oh,
Crazy Taxi.
Oh,
and it's a mystery system, but that thing was durable. I remember dropping that like twice going over a friend's house, and it still played like a champ. Like, I just dropped my Xbox One, the original Xbox, behind my TV, and I'm just like, please still work. There's a disc in there. There's a disc still in there. It's like, no. I think it's Far Cry. No, yeah, Far Cry. The original Far Cry is still in there.
All right, guys. What is your favorite Castlevania game? This is the very first one I ever played. This was my introduction to Castlevania. Castlevania 3 Dracula. That was the first time where I was kind of like, I was introduced to the whole idea that something besides Mario or Link could happen, and I was kind of like that game. At the time, I think I was like 10 or 11, and that game kind of creeped me out. To me, it was like the graphics were kind of scary, the music was kind of chilling, and I was kind of like, this is kind of like a horror movie for a video game. This is really cool. And so I turned off the lights, played it with we were over at my parents' friend's house, and like they had their daughter there, which she was like, I think she was like 16. So for me, being 11 years old, I was like, oh man, she's really hot, because she was. And so, like, I was like, man, I get to play video games with this really hot chick. This is awesome. And so, it was just, to me, it was
how you
doing? Right?
How are you doing?
Right?
You gonna sit over here and play this game with me?
Right.
You may not know it, but I'm a big deal.
I was trying to get my Mac on.
Yo, baby.
You were the first. Hey, man.
Let me open you up this Capri Sun.
I got this high C jukebox right here for you. There you go.
I got 2 straws for my high C. But no, like she was explaining to me like the
Interplayer too.
Like she was explaining to me like the whole world of Castlevania because she was really into that, and it just blew me away that it was like this horror type genre. And so I went back, into like the pawn shop, and bought the first Castlevania, bought the second one, and so what was your guys' favorite Castlevania game? Or your first one?
Well, seeing as I didn't play that one on the NES, the original one, but my first Castlevania game was on that brick of a freaking GameCube. I mean, not GameCube, but a Game Boy.
Yeah. I think the first. I think I'm going to stick with the first one because it was the first one, but for me, if you want to talk horror, I never thought of it as a horror game though. Probably because I had a really disturbing childhood and was really into a lot of horror movies. But the first one that really struck, the video game, it was like, holy crap, this is a horror game that's trying to scare me. It's got to be the first Resident Evil.
Yes. Yeah.
That was like, they set out and made a game that they were trying. The one that actually, first Resident Evil.
So I played Resident Evil. But see, that's not the game that scared the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
The game that scared the crap out of me, because, like you said, I had a messed up childhood too. Horror movies was my thing.
Oh, yeah.
I go to horror movies now, and I'm the guy that's laughing. I'm the guy that's cracking jokes. You hate me in a movie theater.
It's like, come on, man. Green Inferno, bring it.
Bring it. Do it. Come on, let's go. Let's do this now. Let's go. But when it comes to like horror games, Fear made me grab my Bible.
Oh, yeah.
It really did.
You're like, Fear? Yeah.
Fear made me grab my freaking Bible, and I hate to say that because it's like this game came out so far along of many other great horror games, but none of those horror games scared the crap out of me. Fear scared the living crap out of me, and I played it after I got it from the midnight release. It was dark, didn't have my lights on, and as soon as I got to the part where the little girl is in that hallway and it turns to straight blood.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
I know, right? You're like,
save my life right now.
I love that shit. That was a great one. Yeah.
Like, after Fear 2 and Fear 3, and then it was like, oh my gosh, BioShock. I was just like, these games did not scare me anymore.
Yeah,
Fear just desensitized the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah. Fear was...
Do you think sequels kind of suffer from the same thing that movies do, where they kind of water down the first one? Do you think they're kind of a mistake that they shouldn't really make sequels to games, or do you think that it's just kind of... Do you think it's a mistake for sequels to happen?
I think if they're trying to tell a story, like if you set out, like, here's, Travis's Amazing Adventures Part 1, and then it's gonna lead into something else, and it's gonna evolve. Like expand, here's a little bit of the world. Now we're going to expand it for you gradually, and but that's why I don't get into the shooter games, because it's like it's the modern war call of Battlefield 12. It's the same crap with more graphics, and I have to listen to a 12-year-old describe how he had sex with my mom again. Why?
I mean, when... Oh my gosh. Oh man, I don't even get into my experience with Black Ops earlier today. But when it comes down to sequels, for me, if they're well done, like the Gears series was very well done. Gears 1 opened up a whole new platform Gears 1 was a landmark, achievement-breaking type of game. And I bring up Gears because Gears, the Ultimate Edition, is coming out the 25th. So that's my little plug for Unreal and Gears. There you guys go. Send me free gear. But Gears started off with an opening and then a close, and then they made Judgment Day, and that just went to a prequel. And I hated that. I hated. That pissed me off. But it was kind of like the same thing with Halo. It was like, all right, here's the story, and we're building, and we're building, and we're building. But at a point, you're like, all right, I'm sick of it. Like,
yeah.
Halo, I'm like, Halo 5's about to come. I'm just like...
You got to know when to bow. I think you got to know when to bow out. Like, it's...
Right.
But I don't think companies are going to do that because they can keep making money off of this.
Yeah, big part of it.
I mean...
I can't blame them, because if people were throwing that kind of money at me, I would probably do this.
Well, look.
I mean, yeah, but these old school games, these cartridges right here that we have in our hands, Vince, you have a collection of. I know you do. Vance, you have a collection of these games, and these games are complete. There's no DLC required for these games.
Dude, don't even get me go. Oh, yeah, okay. No.
Like,
man. You know what? That's what gets me too about with some of the games now. Now, if you have DLC, like we've given you, here's your complete pizza, but Yoda, guess
Yeah.
what? I got some buffalo wings to go with that. You know, that's fine. I
Right.
got that.
Yeah.
But when you're like, hey, here's your pepperoni pizza. Oh wait, you wanted some pepperoni on that? Well, that's going to cost you extra. Oh wait, you wanted cheese? Oh wait, let me. You're gonna have to pay for that. It's like, dude, come on.
It's like you just got the crust.
And that's one of the things, honestly. Like I make a lot of money at the job that I'm at. You know, for years, like I had to work 2 jobs that I couldn't, afford, hardly anything. And now I'm at a job where, I work 72 hours every week. Like I make 30 hours overtime every week, so I make money. And so
Right.
where I put my money is kind of the only problem. It's like, where do I want to spend my money? Well, buying a video game system wouldn't be a problem, but the whole thing that turns me off of buying a system is the fact that, okay, I've got to buy this, and now I have to buy this. And then I have to download this, and then I have to download this, and then I have to download this, and then I have to download this. And that makes it completely unappealing because it's like I would love to buy like Arkham Knight. But you have to download so much crap, and it's like I just don't even want to do it. I'd rather just watch my brother play and then watch the movie, on YouTube. Watch the movie segment and be like, all right, I'm good, and then just go back to the old school game. But hey, we got to do the shout.
I called it.
We got to do the shout.
I called it, by the way. I was right. I was right about who the Arkham Knight was.
Yep, you were.
Whoa! I haven't played it yet, so.
I was very right about who the Arkham Knight was.
It's Alfred. Alfred. It's Alfred.
It's Alfred.
Alfred.
It's the Joker. Yeah, I'm gonna end up. I think I haven't picked up the PS4 yet. I'm probably gonna do that in November. I'll get a PS4 with try to snag up Fallout, the new Fallout game, and the new Batman game, or Batman Arkham Knight.
It's a fun game, from what my brother says.
So, but we'll see. I have to consult with the financial department about this. Well, dude, between
that's how it is.
You have no idea. I spent, besides with the other hobby that I got with, I play Warhammer 40K. I spend so much money on that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm into that hobby for thousands right now.
That was my problem too. And when I got into it, I was 12. I was 12 years old when I got into Warhammer. And yeah, lunch money, milk money, all that gone.
It's there are days like I don't even spend as much as friends of mine, and we all sit around, we're joking, we're like we actually think that maybe illegal drug habits would be cheaper than what we're I drop because I've got I've got a one model I have to build yet. That was I didn't pay retail price for it. A friend of mine sold it to me for a lot cheaper, but it's like retails for $157.
Yeah.
I didn't even built and painted this thing yet. It's like
yeah.
Like what am I doing?
I remember those days. But we're gonna do the shout outs for tonight. And I'm gonna start off the shout outs for I had the list and that was so long ago. It's not even cool anymore. Oh my gosh. Vance, do your shout outs. Vance, do your shout outs, man.
All right, man, I got you covered, man. All right, the first shout out of the night that I'm going to do is to all my friends on the promenade. You guys help me geek out. If you guys are interested in Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, anything geek related, come join us. Just type in Promenade, PROMENADE. Type that in the search engine on Facebook and come join our group. It's pretty family friendly. We try to keep the language to a minimum. So if you're at work or you got kids that like to, look at your Facebook or whatever, want to geek out, they're free to come. Safe environment. To my co-workers at Starship Valiant and Starship Challenger, Star Trek Anthology. Star Trek Anthology actually shot today a scene that I've been working on with them too. I did a voiceover role. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I can't. But congrats to them, and I'm sure the scene that we all worked together on will pay off. So I want to give a shout out to all of them, and yeah, those are my shout outs, and all of you guys keep on geeking on.
So all right, so I got the shout outs now. All right. I love Batman, the Intergalactic Geek Alliance, the Batcave by the Intergalactic Geek Alliance, 360 Boss Players Only, Geekery Gamers United, Gamers Geekery, Lady Venom's Lair, The Bad, the Good, and Uglies Are Us, the Legend of Zelda Nice, Intergalactic Geek Alliance, Avengers Mansion by Intergalactic Geek Alliance. And you can also, follow us on, Gamer Geeks Radio, Gamer Geeks TV, Lady Rage, / Mary Cosgrove, on Twitter, at Gamer Geeks Radio, on Tumblr, it's Gamer Geeks, it's gamer_geek_radio clan. And we're also looking for PC gamers and our Twitch channel. Follow us on Twitch, which is, I believe, Gamer Geeks Radio. Yes. There we go. Oh, you got some shout outs, man?
Oh, sure. All right. So going back to what I was saying in 40K, a lot of my friends check out my man Kenny Boucher at Next Level Painting. He's going to all kinds of painting tips, modeling tips in order to bring hobby back. Also, my guys at thelongwar.net. If you actually, and Mary was telling me that, said, oh, I didn't know they could actually YouTube or do tabletop wargaming. Well, go check them out at the Long War, and you're going to see some of the freshest stuff. Amazing. Also, my man Rob Bear at Spiky Bits is going to show you how to build all the freshest models. I'm probably going to have some more later on because I do have. Oh yeah, my man Gabe Thorne at Gabe of Thorns Painting. He's going to do does amazing models. If you guys know anything about 40K, Golden Demon. This guy is a multiple Golden Demon winner.
Ooh.
Yep. Sick stuff. Also, on a completely separate note, is probably not. I'm active duty military and got a lot of friends downrange, so they all know who they are, and hopefully they're tuning in. So take care, guys. Stay safe.
Back to the geekery.
All right, now we're done. We paid the bills. The lights stay on for another week.
Yeah, man. All right, Vance.
Yes, my friend.
I know you're not in this. All right, so I want to know your opinion about this.
Sure.
Between the NES and the Super Nintendo, what do you think?
Oh,
what,
NES.
What do you think console? What console? Oh no, dude.
There's less cheating going on with the.
What console do you think? What console do you think holds up its factory value the most?
Oh hell. I would have to say the Super Nintendo. The regular Nintendo has a lot more games out there.
Yeah.
But the Super Nintendo has the higher quality of games. The regular Nintendo has these 3 Batman games.
I knew he was gonna pull those out. Oh man.
But outside of this one, like this one's a really good one.
Yeah.
The Batman one. But like think about that. You got 3 Batman games, and only one is good. Whereas the Super Nintendo, they came out with Batman Returns, and they came out with The Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yep.
The Adventures of Batman and Robin is probably one of the better Batman games you're going to find for a 2D side-scroller. I would put it up there against... In fact, it's probably one of the better ones out there. Even when... Pop it in now, it holds up. The graphics are great. I mean, you could... The graphics are so like the cartoon, you couldn't tell that it's made today. That's how good it is. So the quality is better. So it really depends. Do you want more variety of games, or do you want higher quality of games? So with the NES, I have over 250 games for the NES, just sitting in my front room. They're in their stands. But I take more pride in my Super Nintendo collection. And I think I have, 80 or 90 games in that. And I'm more proud of those ones because it's just the quality is there, and I'll spend more time with them. Whereas, sadly, with the regular Nintendo, you pop these two in, which are the two Back to the Future games.
Oh dear God!
You're gonna, you're gonna spend 10 minutes on them total for both, and then you're going to go about be like, God, I need a sandwich, and sadly, you're going to spend more time with the sandwich than you're going to spend on the video game. That's
like,
so that's
because the and then Roger, I'm gonna let you get a say so on that question as well.
Go for it.
But between the Batman and Robin one and the Batman Returns, I like the Batman Returns better because that's Michael Keaton Batman. That's my 2 cents on that one. But yeah, go ahead, Roger.
No, I'm gonna have. See, I don't have the collection that Vance does. For me, I would go with original Nintendo because to me, it has nostalgia value. You've got the original Mario, the original Duck Hunt, and I swear to God, you will have guys my age still trying to kill the stupid dog.
Yeah.
You've got Zelda, your first game you could say, the original Metal Gear. The original Metal Gear came out on that. There's a lot of firsts in that first game. So, I don't know. I would think if you were to put which one would you rather have in a blind test, people go with the original Nintendo more than they would Super Nintendo because of that. You got that nostalgia thing going.
Well, the thing with the regular Nintendo that I think knocks the Super Nintendo out of the park is you have games like Final Fantasy, which I forgot to grab that one, by the way. But you also have 2 other role-playing games, and like Final Fantasy...
Dragon Quest?
Dragon Warrior.
Dragon Warrior, that's what
Dragon Warrior.
And Ultima Exodus.
Mm-hmm. I had both of those.
These 2 games and Final Fantasy, the very first one, those were my introductions to role-playing. Now, I've never played like Dungeons and Dragons, like the rolling dice type stuff. That never appealed to me.
All right.
But to be able to pop those into the system and build my characters up slowly, to me that's just beautiful because that's that's like carving your craft. That's like, building everything up slowly. And I think the Super Nintendo, outside of me saying that you have higher quality games, that's one thing where I think it failed. It didn't give you as many role-playing games as I think it could have. And that's where the Nintendo really, on some aspects, I think they gave you too many, because some of them, they put out a lot of crap in that regard, but they really gave you some gems, like Dragon Warrior. Oh, I love that game, and this is 25 years later, I'm still playing that game. Final Fantasy, still playing that game. Even when I downloaded my emulator, that was still one of the very games. I re-downloaded that game. because I loved it. When I bought my PlayStation or rebought my PlayStation, I went out and bought Final Fantasy Origins just because I wanted to have that updated graphics for that. Even though it was, I mean, I've got the same game like 5 times. I've got 2 copies of the first one that I play, one that I keep. I've got it on PlayStation 1. I've got it on emulator. I've got it on backup on emulator. I've got it on a different hard drive. Like, it's like like I love that game.
Got it on your phone.
Right. Well, I did, but like it sucks because like my greasy fat fingers like just don't.
Oh man.
No, but that is great though that you have a passion for an old school game like that, because don't get me wrong, like to this day I have most of my consoles still hooked up except for the Super Nintendo because I just unplugged it, but most of my consoles are still hooked up, and anytime it's like, hey man, if we had like an extra two Nintendo 64 controllers, we would pop in GoldenEye and just go to town
on
each other. That's childhood memories right there. But as well as, for the PlayStation, for the actual PlayStation, I'm sitting over there with Final Fantasy and I'm still pissed off about that game. I'm just like, oh my god. But I also have like Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter was a great game to me. I don't care what anybody says, I love Siphon Filter. First mission going in, second mission going out. That was my stuff.
You were talking PlayStation, all right, the original PlayStation. You guys remember a bunch of games were called Legacy of Kain, the Soul Reader.
Yeah.
What? It was like, it was going strong. They had all this stuff going on, and it just went away. I was like,
it died. It disappeared.
What happened?
It fell off the face of the earth.
What happened to that IP? It's a great IP.
It was honestly to this day I couldn't tell you except for probably that Sony had issues. Sony had a lot of issues when they came out with the PlayStation. When Sony first got into the console wars with Nintendo, there was a lot of problems, and it wasn't just because Nintendo was around longer. It wasn't because of Sega and their Genesis. They jumped into this and it was like fresh, and it just caused a lot of commotion between cartridge and disc. Like that's where it all broke down to. It was like cartridge disc. That's why you don't have like Genesis anymore. You don't have Super Nintendo. You don't have that cartridge era anymore. You have this disc era, and the game that you're talking about, the iOS for it, it's just like it's gone. You don't use it. It's like Vio sat up there and was like, "Well, we're done."
I would love to have. So if I do have a rich relative out there who would like to die and leave me a ton of money, I would love if I had that kind of bread to buy that IP or find it and take it over. Could you imagine that on a next gen console? That would, oh my god, it would be killer.
Well, see,
by itself, I would honestly think that Sony would automatically be knocking at your door with like a raid gear and a whole bunch of other stuff. Because if you try to think that to like Microsoft, like ASAP, it'd be done. It'd be so very done. Microsoft will throw out different games. Like it'll be a game coming out every week if that IP it'd be done. For the Xbox One, for PS4, even for the Wii, you just like throw it back to like give it to the Wii U. Give it to the Wii U.
Just think about it, guys. We live in a world when we were growing up. All I heard from my dad was like, you better grow up because when you grow up, you're not gonna like He-Man, Star Trek, or Batman, or Nintendo. You're not gonna like this. And we live in a world now where we went from Pong and video arcade stuff, Mario, to cartridge, to CD-ROM, to now we're downloading. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of stuff. Like, I mean, I've still got all my old systems. I only keep it because I know one day I'm going to have a kid and I want to play that stuff with them and share the memories. I mean, I know they're going to eventually look back and be like, Mario, I don't want that card.
Look at my holographic.
Right? It's gonna be like on Back to the Future 2, where they're gonna be like, guns. You use your hands. That's baby's toy. But it's just it amazes me. Like I keep pimping out this one game that I downloaded it about 2 years ago, or about 2 years ago, and I've been posting screen caps of it that I used to screen cap it because I used to play it a lot. I don't play it now because I don't really have time. But I downloaded it. And it's free to download, so cheap plug, guys. But it's called Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. I would recommend it. It's free to download on PC, and it's got Mario, Luigi, Link, Simon Belmont, the Ninja Gaiden guy, Wario. It's got tons of guys, and basically it's all the worlds between all the levels are breaking down, and you're crossing. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got 4 minutes, guys, so I'll hurry up. But you're crossing over between all the different levels, and it's a really fun game because it's a side scroller and you get to play all the levels, and it's got Sonic, and you're playing each character between all the different levels, and it's a fun game, and it's such a throwback to classic stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's like I would recommend to anyone that loves classic video games like Mario, Sega, any of the stuff, and you can be Mario or Fire Mario, and you can run in Sonic's world, and you can fight those enemies, and it's just really cool to be so interactive. And it's such a well thought out game, but it's like we live in a world now where it's like we as fans are making these games.
Mm-hmm.
It's free. And it's like, just think about that. It's unbelievable, because it's like back when people were playing Pong in a bar or at a video arcade, it's like, that's so cool. It's awesome. That little things like these cartridges, that. Oh man!
Back when Pizza Hut had a arcade.
Right?
Yeah, I know. You had to stand up.
That was like great. That was better than Chuck E. Cheese almost, because they had better pizza. But hey, that's personal opinion. Personal opinion. Don't come after me, Chucky. I don't want. Actually, you don't want that.
We should do a thing on the the actual stand-up arcade games that used to be around.
Oh my gosh, man! What?
That'll be next time. There we go. You're segueing into next session.
Yeah, we should do that. We should definitely do that. Standalone arcade games that had came out. They came out for console games later, because I know a few of them. I'm just gonna rattle off a few off the top of my head. Ninja Turtles, the one with the VR racer, that was awesome.
Mortal Kombat.
Ninja Turtles, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
The Terminator shooting one?
Oh yeah, that's still around. I'm still using that. I got a game store up there. Yeah, up the street. I still use that. I still have a high score in that, actually. No, people were mad at me about Time Crisis, though. Nobody was touching my score in Time Crisis. But then again, I got the gun con for the PS2, and I was using that for practice at home. So when I went to the arcade and put in my $1 quarter, the guy at the arcade was like, "Hey, sir, you got to get off." I knew everything. I memorized that.
You're like the fat kid who's getting told he's got to leave the all you can eat buffet.
They've got your picture above the wall with like the Ghostbusters flash sign through it.
Do not let him play. Don't let him on this game. He played the entire time. Got the max score. Beat off like 3 other little kids. They made him feel like he cried. They cried. I was like, we're partners, though. I don't know why you're crying. We're partners. We're friends. But like Vance said, our time is running short. Vance, you want to give out your shout-outs, man?
Just shout out to the Promenade again. My Star Trek fan film people. Again, a lot of love, a lot of respect. Thanks to the fans for listening to us and joining us every week that you guys come. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. And a special request to all you guys out there, keep Lady in your guys' prayers and thoughts. She's going to be going through some things, so just not going into too many specifics, but we really need to keep her in your thoughts and prayers. So just send some positive energy to her. and let her know you love her. And yeah, we're all going to be thinking about her. And again, thank you for your support, guys, because we wouldn't be doing this without you. So keep on geeking on, guys.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And the final shout outs. Well, not the shout outs for the show. Keep the lights on. I love Batman, the Intergalactic Geek Alliance, the Batcave by the Intergalactic Geek Alliance, Avengers Mansion by the Intergalactic Geek Alliance, because I know there is one, and I love them. So, 360 Boss Players Only, the Geeky Gamers United, Gamers Geekery, Ladies Venom Lair, the Good, the Bad, the Good, and Uglies RS. I'm sorry, guys, I always mess that up. You have to forgive me. I'm thinking of, the Good, Bad, and Ugly, of course. But also, I want to give a shout out to The Legends of Zelda Nice. Also, you can find us on, once again, YouTube at Gamers Geek Radio, Gamers Geek TV. You can find us on Facebook at Gamers Geek TV, Gamers Geeks Radio Show. On our Twitter, it's at Gamer Geeks Radio, all one word. On our Tumblr at Gamer Geeks Radio Clan, _ between the gamer and the geek. There you go. And we're also still, once again, we're still looking for PC gamers that are willing to, stream or Twitch for us. We're looking for Twitchers too. So, hey, kids, if you're relatively nice, if you're kids, I say kids as in 16-year-olds to basically 18-year-olds. If you're relatively nice and you don't do that much, trash talking on the mic during your little Call of Duty episodes, that's another story for a whole different time. But I had an experience today. I really did. I had an experience. Where come and Twitch with us. Come and Twitch with us.
I'm just laughing at you because you got told off by a 12-year-old.
Dude, I didn't even get told off by a 12-year-old. It's what I said to this 12-year-old kid that just. Do I regret it? No, but it was like, dude, nobody cares. And then you just kirked on your moms. We heard him kirk on his moms, and I said some really inappropriate thing, and he started actually crying. It was like a repeat of my Call of Duty experience all over again. It was just like, oh my god. But the kid kirked on me for a while. After I headshot him 3 times in the head, yeah, he kirked. He went off. I have so many messages. I was like, I could report you to the NSA for what you said. But Roger, go ahead, give your shout outs, man.
Okay, real quick, because we're just about out of time, I want to give a shout out to all my guys over at the Long War, Rob Bear, Kenny Boucher, Steve Four. Also, if you same guys, you want to check out Next Level Painting, run by Kenny Boucher, learn how to make those fat models and bring hobby back. Yeah. And that's all for now. That's all I got.
All right, guys. This has been Gamer Geeks Radio, bringing it back old school.
America.
Peace. Live long and prosper.